Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to be continuing with our ranged units Omni challenge in the campaigns over here, and again this is the adventure campaign, pretty much the start. Last episode we've gotten pretty far, so now we're just going to continue, and again I'm going to try not to really use that many OP ranged units. Like, I'm just going to stay up with the more sort of like unorthodox methods of doing this. And also I am also going to be trying not to be that much dizzy. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get into it. Right now we have Basra Bridge with just a bunch of shieldmen and the king. Now the king has a lot of health, so this probably will be tricky. However, I already did this once before, some time ago. This is pretty easy. All you have to do is like, I actually kind of do it more so like this, where we are. 3 bone mages to do the job pretty well. And after that, all we have to do is just take care of Akinia, which is going to be a pretty hard challenge, but I'm pretty sure the Ballista can do it. The Ballista is also pretty good. And also we'll maybe throw in a little bit more snake archers. Okay, let's see how this goes. This isn't really that much of a try-hard energy, so this should go pretty well. That was a nice Ballista kill. Okay, you're really not doing your job. That was okay, nice. This is not really going to go that well, I assume, but there we are. Another Ballista shot, really missed the Kino, which was the main purpose of the attack. But okay, come on, reload. Okay, who are you targeting now? And there we are. Nice shot right in the back. That will definitely hurt when he gets up in the morning. And now we'll have left to say Protector, and there we are, victory. Okay, nice quick dab over there. Pretty good for us. Now we have a chosen one against this is a complete joke. And basically a lot of actually, let's see, who do I pick for the most efficient method of killing? Again, probably the Bone Mage. Very good, I'll try and test the effective Bone Mage. Some of the levels are pretty interesting, but at the same time they're also like extremely easy. Like, just because we healed him doesn't mean we can just straight up one-shot him. Yeah, there we are, one-shot. And now we'll have to deal with a bunch of healers, and again, pretty easy. I really wish there was a little bit more challenge to them, but at the same time this is also the second level, so this is pretty noobish stuff. There we are. Again, we're going to use a little bit of ballistas and snake archers. I mean, this is going to be a big gambit over here. The snake archers are pretty good, but not really against that many units, because these units can really one-shot the snakes. But there we are. At least one of the harvesters has gone down, which is actually pretty bad, but okay, now by the looks of it, we seem to be able to get rid of it. There we are. Now the Yelp has gone down. A little bit more snakes incoming. Yeah, we're definitely going to win. Actually, I probably really shouldn't use snakes. We're a little bit COP. I think there we are. Oh, almost a double kill. The 2 most important units are now out, and all that's left is a couple of not really a couple, just one harvester, and there we are. Okay, this time I really shouldn't use that much. Again, Squire. Okay, notice again. Also an incredibly easy one. All you have to do is just vary out a few catapults. This is actually going to be a little bit more tricky, because I don't really know who has better range, so I'm pretty sure if I just do this, I technically should win. I don't know if it's going to be a guaranteed kill, but I probably will. There we are. Okay, we've done a little bit of damage. We're kind of a little bit more binded up. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and charge. There we are. Come on in. There we are. Okay, and there we are. Now there's only this one catapult, which this guy has his hand stuck in this rock, which is pretty bad, and there we are. Also, probably really shouldn't use the ballista. Actually, a lot of units just in general are very OP. Okay, let's see. Again, definitely an entire army. Wait a second. What? Yeah, of course. A second. Who am I missing over here? Did I miss something? What's going on here? Okay, come on. There we are. I actually forgot where we were hiding. Okay, a couple. Are there really any shieldmen? Only a couple. Okay, so only a couple of shieldmen. So again, I just say line up a good old, good a couple archers, and I'm tempted to use snake archers again, but I don't really think that will be a little bit rude to use them, so I'm going to go ahead and Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and line up an entire colony of firework archers, and after that maybe I'll have a ninja. Yeah, and after that we'll have a far 2 ninjas in the back for melee purposes. Defending the archers. Okay, archers, come on. You gotta fire up a shot. Alright, come on, and there we are. Nice little volley in the cave. Now all the shields are down, we can attack. If the guys don't really move up, which they actually did, which is pretty bad for them, but okay, it seems like we will win anyways because we have a huge amount of money. Okay, 2 down, however we're still going to win. Yeah, there we are, huge amounts of firepower. Now we're definitely all dead. Yep, definitely dead. Okay, another destination. Absolutely not an ambush. Well, this is actually a pretty good one. Unfortunately, I am not blind, so I see all of these guys. And again, there's also these guys over here. Luckily, no one over here. Actually, a pretty sneaky one, however, again, I would say... there's a lot of options I have. However, I would say line up a good old firing squad over here, get these guys out of the way. But then they are going to get rushed, so I would also like to put... Actually, no, I think that would be a little bit OP. So how about the balloon archers? Yeah, and the balloon archers will be over here. Okay, this is going to be pretty good for us. There we are. All of them are executed except a couple, which is pretty bad. I expected a little bit better results. Okay, maybe not this. This is a bit of a bad strategy. But what I would do over here is I'd line up a couple of musketeers over here. They're pretty good. Definitely going to take out those guys, and after that, firework archers. No, there's a lot of efficient ways. Yeah, probably all ice archers. They should definitely do the trick. These guys are going to destroy these guys. And now it's time to absolutely freeze every single one of them. Oh, but this time it actually seems like we're really not going to be able to freeze one of them. Yeah, I forgot ice archers aren't really that bright. Okay, again, I'll just go ahead and resort to a little bit more effective methods of doing this. A couple of bone mages, I'd say 2. Not really spearthrowers. Spearthrowers aren't really that great. Now I have to go try hard more, so I'll just place 2 of the ninjas, and after that I'll go ahead, dynasty, and a bit of firework archers. They should do a trick just fine. There we are. Now all of them are definitely dead. Ninja is going to go ahead and absolutely destroy them. There we are. Ninja can probably single-handedly destroy the entire army. Okay, but Ninja's getting pretty cornered. He might die. He did, which is pretty weird because I remember him being a lot more OP. Kinda strange, and I am going to have to use a little bit of strange method, and there we are. Actually, surprisingly a little bit more difficult level. Although maybe someone got this first try in a couple of minutes. Perhaps you really can't say. But there we are, this should be an easy dab. There we are. Just do a little bit of this. Actually, there we are. This should work out pretty well. Even if I didn't really use these OP units, would still pan out the same. It wouldn't really make much distance. There we are. A couple of shots and it's dead. And how is this guy doing? Yeah, those guys definitely killed those mammoths now. There's only this, a couple of 2 mammoths. And this can actually be a little bit more of a problem if the mammoth takes up so much shots. Oh no, we're shooting through a mammoth. Okay, this mammoth has gone out his back to try to climb over him, but he now died. Okay, how about I do a little bit of strategy and try to... Okay, I'm probably going to go ahead and team kill my guys so I can get through. There we are. There we are. Okay, that's starting to decompose, which is pretty bad. Okay, he's... there we are. A little bit messy at the end, but we got it. Tower defense, again, this should be pretty easy cleanup. All I have to do is just place... Actually, I'll go ahead and place snake archers. They're a little bit more effective. But the premise would really work for any archers. Actually, just in case, I will spread them out a little bit, just because I am pretty sure that we are going to be able to hit them, but not all of them, and there we are. We're probably going to team kill a lot of them. That's a lot of damage right there. Okay, fire on that one. And again, pretty easy victory. I really wish they would do a little bit better, but at the same time, you know, it is pretty hard for all of this web coding and all that stuff. But there we are in our victory. Okay, again, final destination Berserker. Hiding barrows. Okay, this means we're definitely going to charge us, and this time... Actually, no, dragons are... They can be pretty good, but at the same time, if... Actually, no, Squirt, I'll still try the dragon. I'll do 4 dragons surrounded, and after that we'll have a couple of reserves of these guys. And at the same time... No, I think, yeah, a couple of that should do. Actually, I'm going to place Watch a little bit more because I really don't want it to team kill. And after that, probably... Actually, you know what? We don't really need to minimize all that stuff. There we are. This should work out in our favor. Yep, we're all getting burned. All of them are definitely dead now. There's only a couple of these guys left. There's only one farmer's left. He's getting shot stabbed. There we are. Again, pretty easy so far. Wall Knights again. This is actually going to be a little bit... we're going to put up a bit more of a fight, however, still. I think just putting up a gold firing line of fire oak archers over here should do the trick. If not, I would put a couple of ninjas over here, just if they do get through. We have at least something to fight them back. And actually, I'm also going to go ahead and place a couple of musketeers over here. Just a little bit. Actually, just one more over here. And this should be pretty easy for them. Boom, there we are, sniped a couple of them. And now the fire catchers are going to open up volley. And... Okay, where is this guy going? Fire weapons. Now this should be a pretty easy victory. Again, we're all getting shot and stabbed. Well, not stabbed. Get throwing stars all over the bodies. Only a couple of knights remain. And we're all going to get pushed back. And... Okay, who is alive over here? That guy is definitely not anymore. This guy is still alive. He's getting dragged all the way over here. Probably going to get shot from behind. Yep. And lined up. Damn, actually 3 shots. That must have been really bad for him. Okay, again. All of these guys. I really wish they did a really better job hiding them. But I guess it is what it is. So, again, I'm really tempted to use Ice Archers, but at the same time remember that they're pretty bad. Using naturals would be a pretty bad idea over here, so how about... This might be a little bit of a weird strategy, but... How about... We go a little bit of stoners over here. Yeah, again, this might not go our favor, but it's okay because it's a more diverse strategy. But we are a more interesting strategy. Now the rocks are being thrown. It should do the trick. Now these guys also have melee, which is pretty bad, but at least they have it. There we are, we're going to do a lot of damage. And now all we have to do is finish up a couple of them. Ooh, that was a nice crunch. And again, this guy. So we're just going to go ahead and grab this guy, and okay, now I'm going to try to snipe on him over there. There we are. Snipe, no. Okay, let's go ahead and get him. Okay, somebody else got him. Yeah, ooh, right in the head, okay. Going to be moving out from that final destination. Price power, there we are, that's pretty good. Again, although it is a pretty easy level over here, all we have to do is just line up a couple of archers, I would say. And 1 catapult. Should do a trick. Just fine. There we are. And the firing archers have now fired. Pretty poorly, I would say, but that's mostly because of a catapult. Now we have to do is reload. That's 1 guy dead, a lot of guys dead, and there we are. A clean shot. Ooh, okay, all archers. Ooh, this is actually going to be pretty nasty. Ranged on ranged violence. Archer and archer violence. Although we do have snake archers, normal archers, and ice archers, which is The snake archers are going to be really annoying, so this time I actually think that we should just go ahead and sweat a little bit. Again, I'm not really going to use the more powerful guys, because that would be just completely crazy. Pretty much no chance they stand if I actually use them. So let's try to be a little bit more fair. I have a lot of guys and I really don't have that much. However, the thing is, if I just go ahead and use Zeus and I put him right up in there, this should work out pretty well for me, and then I'll also just go ahead and try to kind of do a little bit of a counter, try to counter them, and there we are. Extremely easy. Zeus can literally one-shot them, and there we are. Only a couple of our zone died. Death from above again, this is going to be pretty interesting. I just completely realized that I really haven't been using the poachers enough, so what I'm going to do here is actually use a little bit of more advanced warfare. We're going to put up a little bit of rocks on both sides. Again, very effective tool, especially for executions, especially in ancient Rome. But anyway, okay, that is going to be the first line of defense, which is going to be tasked with taking them down, the hoplites. After that, I'll just go ahead and place a little bit of catapults, which should prevent them from coming up. And now what we need is a little bit more of ranged fighters, and I'd say some musketeers would do pretty well over here. I'd say just put them all the way over here, a couple of nice musketeers, and just add another banner bearer like over here. Yeah, I'd say this is actually I really should use a little bit more of my resources, so I'd say a little bit more of poachers, I guess, and there we are. Okay, I think this is a strong formation. These guys completely destroy the shields, and so do the rocks. Poachers can't really do much, but I mean it's pretty good. There we are, some couple of shots going out, pretty inaccurate. Ooh, that's some good shots. Those guys also have gotten a few kills. Let's see what his score they're into. But I'm mainly going to be focusing on this one. There we are, the catapults are getting launched. This is a pretty strong defense actually. There we are. They're getting completely sniped, and sometime soon they should come in. There we are. And now we're also going to reload and take care of them completely. There we are. Now we're going to a couple on this side. Those two guys got destroyed. And again, push this guy. Okay, missed that one. But still, only one of these guys left. Really is going to be pretty good. There we are. Okay, who is still alive though? This guy. Classic tabs. Okay, well now it's time for us to do again a pretty good move of come on. Just okay, how about barrier just okay, that didn't really kill him. This is going to take some time, boys. Come on. Come on in. And there we are. Okay, he somehow survived. Actually, this is a pretty easier solution. Okay, come get it, lads. Let's go ahead and get him. Okay, that's returned to me. There we are. Now it's time for real execution to begin. You guys all go forward. Okay, and I'll stay back over here. Let's get his stoner for one, and there we are. Big shot. Again, final destination. 3 mammoths, again, pretty easy dub. Let's see, what do we have here? 3 mammoths. Don't really going to try that hard. Pretty much all of them, and like what? Yeah, snake archer. Should do the job pretty well. I'll go ahead and start shooting already. Okay, come on. Down, down! Oh, that was some quick shots. Come on, fire a shot. This elephant is going to go ahead and go down. Yeah, that elephant is definitely down. I am going to get absolutely trapped. Yep. Oh, wait a second, we're actually going to lose. Okay, now that's pretty bad. Pretend that didn't really happen. But now we're definitely not going to lose, and firing the shots, and okay, that was a big snipe. Actually crazy snipe. Come on, boys. Line up for shots. I have this one on aimbot. Oh, that was a big shot. Okay, 2 mammoths down. This guy's still alive. I'm on. Load up for volley. And there we are, big shot. Again, I think this is going to be the last level, so let's go ahead and try to do it a little bit more legit. Although I have a feeling it's going to be pretty hard to do it legit when it's this easy. I'd say a big line of musketeers. However, they are wheelbarrows, so probably put a dragon like right, I'd say right over here. 2 dragons. Yeah, that's going to be pretty hard to put it there. Let's go ahead and see how this goes. There we are, that was some nice shots. I'm definitely going to go down okay. Might actually stay alive. This might go pretty badly for us. And yeah, it did. Okay, so members don't really die that quickly. But this time, now we've definitely got it. This time I'll just go ahead and use a ballista, and this time I'll be a little bit more try hard. Do a little bit of this, and now I can actually go ahead and use some of the more powerful units. Oh no, those guys will just kill the mammoths, so now we have to deal with wheelbarrows, and for that now we have to go ahead and use our favorite little boy. There we are, and just a banner bearer to keep them still. You know, pretty fitting for range units, and actually this might be pretty bad because it can team kill, so yeah, we're going to have to move the dragon up a little bit over here. Not that bad. And after that we'll just have a little bit of more fireworks. And there we are. Line up the shots. Still alive, but that's okay. At the end of the day we are going to have to come through here, and after that we have a big old juicy snipe which we somehow missed. Come on. And okay, that was bad. We have an elephant coming in. Oh, come on, boy. Easy shot. Yep, elephant down. Alright, now we all we have to do is wait. Wait for them to come. If they actually will come. What's going on here? Yep, they're just about finishing us off over there, so let's go back. Prepare for the onslaught. And come on, line them up. Oh, that was such a big kill. All of them in one. That's actually crazy. Crazy good kill. Let's see who of them is even still alive right now. We still need to be careful, they still pose a pretty big threat. But at the same time I don't really see any of them. Where are they? Weird, they can be trying to ambush, which would be pretty impressive for them. Okay, we're going to actually let you move up. Now you're getting stuck. Jeez, what is these hitboxes right now? These collision boxes are kind of crazy. We do have a little bit of health and the fact that we can be pretty glitchy, a glitchy cheeky kill, so... And there's Pat. Driving over my buddies. Who here wants some? Okay. What are we shooting at, the house? Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Yep. Anyone really wants stuck over here? There we are. So you're trying to shoot over here, and you did. Yes, you are. Let's try to glitch through the map a little bit here. Doing a little bit of glitching. Okay, this is where we're going to end it off. I'll see you in